Welcome back, gamers. So today we're going to be talking about Arma Reforger and tips and tricks and just some general know-how and things I've learned on the way that you might want to know too. So if you're still getting into the game, or maybe you've played many hours of this game but you might not know some of these tips, so this is why I'm here to show you this stuff. So let's get right into it. Okay, so something that you really want to know, especially if you're going to be sniping at all, is with the binoculars. You pull the binoculars out and you're looking and you're wondering, what distance is that house? So on mouse and keyboard, you hold R for a second, let go, and it'll give you a meterage, 135 meters away. Oh, how far is that hill over there? Hold R again, it'll show that little red dot in the middle, let go, 358 meters. So that way you can adjust your scope accordingly to the distance, so that way you're not just popping shots randomly and guessing. And having your scope zeroed is so important when it comes to sniping. Now, we're going to switch the controller real quickly. Okay, so the controller, you hold an Xbox controller, you hold X. And then that red circle pops up with the meterage. Alright, so what I'm about to show you all is one of the coolest, most important things that not a lot of people know. So you always want to carry a shovel. You might be asking why. I don't build bases. I'm not always about the base building. It's about out in the field when you're fighting. Now, when you have a shovel in hand, you can hold R on keyboard, and you can build a dune pile. But you can build yourself a little foxhole bunker if you wanted to. As far as I'm aware, it don't take no supplies at all to build. That's just dirt. And there you go. You have a little dune pile to hide behind. Approaching, it'll protect your lower half. It's not a super high dune pile, but what really goes into effect is when you start laying down. But go ahead and lay down, you're 100% protected by that. Like I said, you can just build all around you, and to me, that's just a cool thing. You don't need no supplies or anything. So we'll keep going with the other tips. Here we go. The next one is going to be 2D scopes. So some people might not know this, some people might. A 2D scope is, well, I'll show you that actually. So this is what a non-2D scope is. It means you can see all the surroundings around you, and in my opinion, you should keep it this way because you can see if enemies come up close to you. It's just easier. But if you go into the settings tab here, come down to gameplay, 2D scopes. You hit yes, and just back out of that real quick. It will be an old school style, like an old, video game like Call of Duties used to do, where you don't see anything around it, it's all blacked out. Some people prefer this when it comes to sniping. I personally don't. I hate it. I can't see anything except for that little, what the scope is. To me, it feels way too restricted. So, if for some reason that setting is on and you don't like it, turn it off. Because sniping this way, it's so much easier. Yeah, it's so much nicer sniping this way. Alright, so next is low ready. So, you might be asking what low ready is. Low ready is like after when you're sprinting and you come up and your gun is down low. And if you hit the fire button, then the gun will come up. It won't automatically fire. You have to make sure your gun's up straight before you actually start firing the gun. Which, more times than I can count, has got me killed. As I'm running around the corner with like an AR or something, I'm in low ready. See how long it took me to shoot? Let's try to simulate that again. How long from low ready? I got to spam it. I had to spam the mouse like 3 times before I start shooting. I click it once, then it comes up. That has got me killed so many times. Like I said, coming around a corner, my gun's on low ready, and you can't hit fire at all. So to get rid of that, if you do not want that on there, which like I said, that is something you want to get rid of, personally for me anyway. Unless you're trigger happy and you don't want to kill teammates that way, but you go to the controls, you go over to the weapon section, and then you come down to where it says low ready. And all you gotta do is take the keybind off. You can do the same thing with controller. I did the same thing. On controller, take the keybind away. I believe it's X. It'll say, down here, how to unbind keys and stuff like that. But on both, I took it off because it's, like I said, more times than not, it's gotten me killed in close combat fights. Okay, so this next kind of a tip, it's more of a personal preference style, is to keep multiple scopes in your bag. Because they don't weigh a lot. Let's check how much the weight is on these scopes. Scope one, it weighs under a kg. It's 0.448 kg. That's nothing. So don't take up much room. And A lot of times when I'm out in the field, I'm like, oh, I don't end up liking the scope, or I need something for long distance. So you can just fully swap them out. Some guns you can't put different scopes on, like the sniper I was using earlier. That thing only has that one scope on it. But yeah, so like say if I need a longer range scope, I can just throw on this. And there you go. Got a longer range scope on it. I see a lot of people running just one scope, maybe one backup. I like to bring at least 3. We are bleeding pretty bad right now. This next little tip thing you should always carry on you is a tourniquet. Get that tourniquet out, and we'll apply it. So I always apply a tourniquet before I apply bandages, unless I'm in 100% safety. If I'm fully safe, then I'm not going to worry about it. So as you can see, the bleeding is slowed down a lot. But you also notice, look how slow I'm walking. You cannot run full sprint run with a tourniquet on. They are good if you're heavily bleeding and you're in combat and you need to just firefight your way out and let yourself last, because right now, if I didn't apply that tourniquet, I would have been dead by now. So let's say I get the safety, I'm behind a tree, people are firing at me, then I can go ahead and, unfortunately I don't have any bandages on me right now. You get the point. I can start bandaging up. This is very situational. Sometimes I will bandage myself right off the bat, and that's a bad mistake because you saw how quick putting a tourniquet on was compared to bandaging. Alright, we got our bandage out. Go ahead and use it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about like 8 seconds roughly to bandage up, which is a long time in combat. Alright, so this next one is kind of a... It's one I was going to make a full video on, but it's very difficult because a lot of different servers have different camo patterns, and this is IDing your enemies, how to find your enemies, what they look like, and stuff like that. So as you can see my character here, a lot of these WCS servers have these bands on. So anyone that is on the United States side is going to have a blue band, anyone on the Russian side is going to have a red band. Now, as far as I know, don't quote me on this, you do not need to wear that band. You can take that off, but you do risk getting shot by teammates. Or you can just learn the camo patterns. Now, like I said, I can't exactly tell you every single camo pattern. I can go into the box and show you here in a minute. But that's something you gotta learn on the way. A lot of the good tips are helmets. A lot of the helmets look different compared to the Russian and Americans. The backpacks are all different. And the chest rigs. Some of the camos, the new camos, kind of look very similar. I mean, they are different, but they do look similar. Especially to like a new player. I always take my armband off. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but because I'm going sniping a lot, that blue armband's gonna stick out quite a bit. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of go into the equipment real quickly. Okay, so the backpack, this is what I was saying. You see someone with that giant ass bag on it, or this, I mean, you'll know. They look different. The bags are all unique compared to each side. The Russians will have no bags looking like that. And I say bags because the bags and the helmet are the first things you're going to see other than the armband. Let's just say he's not wearing the armband, right? Those are the first things you're going to see, that and what gun he's using. Obviously, there is no rule against picking up enemy guns, so you can't rely on just what kind of gun he's having. Backpack and helmet. So it might actually be good to just scroll through like whatever server you're playing. Like I said, so a lot of servers have different camo patterns and styles. Go through whatever the box, or whatever side you're on, if you're an American or Russian, and just kind of familiarize yourself with the camo patterns, what kind they have. And see, this kind of dark green is very close to what the Russians have. Stuff like that. But if I saw this on the field, I'll know it's not Russian because I just know the looks of the plate carrier. Like I said, that's kind of what happens when you have over 500 hours in Arma. Right, so this next one here is picking up friendlies. Unfortunately, there's like no one on the server right now, so I can't show you. I might enter a clip in here if I can. Hopefully the clip will pop up now. We'll see if I can get a clip going before that. Well, so essentially what it is, say if this guy was still alive, which this was me actually. Say if I was still alive, right? And he's bleeding out, and there's people down the road shooting at me. You can go up to him, and now you can actually pick up your teammate, put him over your shoulder, run to a room, put him down, and revive him inside. Any type of firefight that you have the chance to, revive your teammate, pick him up. Don't, sit here and squat in the middle of the road and try and heal him, because that's a no-go. That doesn't work. You're gonna get killed. So if you're driving, and you're wondering why your vehicle's so slow, It's because you're not full throttling it technically. There's like a boost button actually. Now controller people don't have to worry about that when you're hitting down the the right trigger, the drive. It's full throttle. That's how it is. There is no boost button or anything like that. It's not really a boost button, but it's just like a high gear style. So we're gonna drive. We're almost the keyboard right now. We're hitting the W button, right? This is as fast as it'll go. It's not too bad. But then you hit your left shift button. You hear the engine speed up. And that's because that's an actual like a high gear style. And it shows it better when you're going uphill. The left shift starts speeding up quite a bit. A lot of new players don't know this, and they're wondering why their vehicles are going so damn slow. That is why. So you could always hold your left shift unless you want to, drive slow. That's up to you. So that's a little tip right there for that. That's pretty cool. So if you're wondering what map this is, this beautiful map, this area that I'm in is like a fall time style theme. It is amazing. It is the WCS Chinaris map. This map is one of the most beautiful maps ever, and I feel like a lot of more people need to start playing on this map because it's such it's a huge map. I'll show you. If you've never seen the Chinaris map, it is a massive map. We're not even in the center of it. We're just down south. A lot of open countryside, but it's not like flat. It's not like the Ukraine one. There's a lot of beautiful landscaping and a lot of coverage when you're like backing up base. That's pretty cool. Before we get to the next little tip or whatever we're calling this video, I don't know yet. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and that like button. I would appreciate it so much. You guys have been helping the channel a lot lately. You guys are amazing. And the next tip is where is it? Right here. Demolition charges. So, you don't need two of these. Hang on. There we go. Bam. We're gonna put these demolition charges on. And now what we're gonna be talking about is the time delay. So there's two different ways you can actually use these demolition charges. You can either arm a time diffuse, so you can set a certain time delay on it, or when you pull out the blasting charge, the clacker, whatever you want to call it, you connect it to the clacker. And now there's a delay when you hit this button to when it actually blows up. So keep this in mind. The timing on this is going to be different than the Russian side. The Russian side is not a clacker style, they're a TNT style. So that means you have to actually spool it up and then hit the button. So the Russian ones take a little longer than the American side does. Keep that in mind if you're trying to do like a roadblock, or say if I'm waiting for a vehicle to come down the road, you have to time this perfectly. So let's see how long it takes for this one. Good second and a half till it blows up. I believe the Russia one takes a good 2 seconds at least, because he has to do a full spooling of the device, then he clicks it. So in my opinion, the America one is better for that. Now I'll have to go onto the Russian side and test it out, see how that is. Alright, so we're here on the Russian side right now. We're going to show you the difference between the demolition charge and the TNT. So the TNT is a little bit thicker, a more square block. You can use it the exact same way. Place it on the ground, place it on a vehicle, place it on whatever you want. Make sure you have your blasting charge out. Hang on, there we go. Arm the connecting device to the detonator. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And you'll notice two things. The time it takes from when I hit the button to when it explodes, and the explosion will be different, as I'll show you right here. Okay, so the two differences with the timing. I'd have to guess at least 3 seconds. The demolition charge on the American side took only like a second and a half maybe. So this is double the time it takes. But you did see how big the explosion was compared to the demolition charge on the American side. Because this is TNT and not demolition charge. Demolition charges are more condensed, focused style charges, and from what I saw when I did that testing was the American side demolition charges spread out to the sides, whereas the TNT explodes upwards more like a landmine. So that's very interesting. Alright, last tip of the day, y'all. Might be self-explanatory. I might have stated this in a previous episode or a previous video. I don't remember, but we're going to go over it again. because it's real, and I've gotten killed so many times for it because people don't say Backblast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. On WCS and a lot of servers, when you hold a launcher, there is going to be a backblast, meaning if your teammates are behind you, they'll get killed or knocked out. There's been more times than not where I came around a fence like this, but like say teammate is right here firing down this hill, and I come around the side. I cannot see what my teammate is doing. I can't see him at all. So it's just common courtesy to go hit the pop button saying backblast clear and then shoot. Or you can even be aiming in and say backblast clear, shoot. You don't have to take very long doing it, but it is common courtesy for your teammates. Or you can just be that jackass that does it. Honestly, I don't care, but it's a little tip, you know what I mean? I'll show you the backblast on this one. See how far that fire goes and all that mist and spray? I mean, not mist, but, you know, the blast, the backblast, that, yeah. So that covered from the fence to my right side and back to the road almost. So you can actually wipe out your own squad by accident, not realizing it. Not all servers are going to have that, but all the WCS servers do have it, so keep that in mind. With that being said, if you liked the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, y'all.